Hi guys, Asif here again, going live. Okay, so it is 11:57 at the moment, and Jesslyn of Jesslyn Fitness is going to be joining me right at noon. So what I wanted to do was go right ahead and go through our affirmations of promise yourself. I'm going to go through that right now, and then shortly she'll hop on and we'll get to hear from Jess really soon. So let's dive right in, you guys, with our daily affirmations during this time of my challenge of putting myself live for the 19 days. Promise yourself. Ready? So promise yourself to be so strong that nothing can disturb your peace of mind. To talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every single person you meet. Promise yourself to make all your friends feel that there's something worthwhile in them. To look at the sunny side of everything and make your own optimism come true. Promise yourself to think only the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best. To be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as you are about your own. Promise yourself to forget the mistakes of the past and press on towards the greater achievements of the future. To wear a cheerful countenance on your face at all times and give every living creature you meet a smile. To give so much time to the improvement of yourself that you have no time to criticize others. To be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the presence of trouble in your life. To think well of yourself and to proclaim this fact to the whole world, not in loud words, but in great deeds, to live in the faith that the whole world is on your side, so long as you are true to the best that's in you. All right, Jess is here, so let's see how we can get her on here, go live. I just did that, Jess, so let's see what happens. Anything happen at all? Let's see. Waiting for Jess. It works!
Hello.
Yay! I am excellent. Your hair looks beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's my birthday, so I told my mom for my birthday, the only thing I want is like 8 hours of quiet from my child. So if you want to keep her occupied, and so my mom's like, okay, done. So I was able to get beautified today with no distractions.
Wow. Well, when the quarantine's over, Nikki and I will dive in on that. So we'll take her for a while if you want. You can have some more time when it all kind of goes down.
Thank you. I know it's been interesting. I have a giant Italian family, so we are all in. We really obviously haven't left, and I'm like, all right, well, we're just gonna make the best of this. But no way to ring in 29 and with some of the loudest folks I know, and that would be my mom and her husband and my child.
I love it. Well, Jess, thank you so much for joining me. Just to give you a little recap of why this is even happening. So right before when everything was kind of going wild and crazy with this COVID-19 thing, and there's like if you kind of think that you've got it, kind of self-quarantine yourself. As I'm thinking about it, this thought just popped into my head. Why not self-quarantine my fears? So as I began to think of it, the thing that really stuck out to me is this very thing. This thing gives me the heebie-jeebies. To go live and kind of put myself out there scares the crap out of me, So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do a 19-day challenge, and I'm not trying to be silly or stupid to be disrespectful, but still with the COVID-19, kind of do a 19-day challenge for myself to go on here. And I thought it'll also be a great way to kind of introduce some of the speakers that are going to be at the Truth or Dare to Change live event. So Jess is she's the mastermind actually behind that awesome event. She is a Beachbody legend. She is a magic mindset mentor, wealth and abundance and money mindset hacks problems that you have. She's like the doctor of that, okay? So anyways, I'm going to turn it over to Jess to kind of introduce herself, to let you know what she's up to and how you can work with her, kind of give you her background, and then Jess will also kind of tell us what she's going to be talking about the live event, and then she'll have the floor to just kind of take whatever direction she wants to, just to let us know how she handles her own fears and conquers them, and how that could be kind of encouraging and helpful for us during this time. So Jess, it is all you.
Yay, awesome. Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for such an incredible introduction. So I am doing my COVID-19 quarantining down in Florida. I live in upstate New York, but my daughter and I usually come to Florida quite frequently for really like 2 months at a time. So we kind of made the decision before everything got crazy to head down to Florida, and we will be here as long as we need to be here, which was the best decision we could have made, because if I'm going to be stuck inside, I want to at least have a back porch to go and sunbathe on. So thank you for that beautiful introduction. The purpose of me saying that was I kind of have like a little makeshift office here. So if you guys see me kind of like grabbing my notes, it's just because I wanted to make sure that I gave you as much information that I think is important and of service to you and your followers during this time. So my name, yes, it's Jesslyn. I have been building an online business this is 6 years now. I originally started building a business. Yes, I know. It's like, time really does fly. I started 6 years ago partnering with Beachbody. I started with network marketing, and I actually joined that company during the worst place of my life. So I was someone where I had an amazing childhood. I had, more love. Like I said earlier in this, my family is super Italian, and I was raised with more love than I could have ever hoped or dreamed for. But, just like most people, I think, high school and college, I got involved in partying. I had a lot of limiting beliefs that were created over time based on, my weight. I was picked on really early on in life. I ate a lot of pasta early on in life. So a lot of those insecurities started to come up more and more. And then in college, I started doing an at-home workout program, not through a Beachbody coach at all. I actually saw an infomercial for it. And I thought, you know what, like, I'm not going to end my college career not loving myself. I'm not going to be this person anymore who's looking at other girls in college and being jealous of what they look like. A lot of my roommates are like naturally fit, and it would take them like 2 minutes to get ready, and it would take me like 2 hours. So I would just look at myself in the mirror, and I hated what I saw. So I started Insanity without the help of a coach, and I actually did it for almost 2 years on my own.
Wow.
I lost 19 pounds. I looked phenomenal. But we all know that sometimes what is reflected on the outside does not always align on the inside. And I was abusing myself. I was drinking 4 or 5 times a week. By the time I had graduated college, I felt burnt out. We have this idea that once we go and we do get the degree and do what we're supposed to do, that we're going to live this white picket fence life, that, we're going to all of a sudden be millionaires, and we're going to have this beautiful dream home, and everything in our life is going to be perfect. And I quickly realized that the corporate world was not for me. I hated my job. I was making like $13.75 an hour. I was barely even able to pay off my student loans, and I was continuing to drink, and the drinking turned into recreational drug use, which led to more of like a habitual drug use, which led to me just being in the worst physical, emotional, mental, and financial place of my life. And I think that everything happens for us. It does not happen to us. It's kind of like the representation of everything that's going on around us right now. I'm someone who truly believes in having faith, and I truly believe in hindsight is 2020 in perspective, because I hate to take anything lightly, and I'll touch on this later in this training, but I think for me, like, going into the situation, I'm like, I have been through much scarier things than what we're witnessing right now. So I'm like, for me, I'm like, if I can go through what I went through in my life and come out stronger and better for it, well, then I have nothing but the utmost faith that on the other side of this situation, we're going to come out stronger and better for it as well. Obviously, none of us asked for this. Like, I would never want to have to go through things like this, but everything is always a lesson. And so, God kind of came and he like plopped something on my lap, and he said, okay, you've been abusing your mind, you've been abusing your body, you've been abusing your finances. So I'm going to force you to slow down. And something that I teach a lot in spirituality is balance. And when we don't take the time in our life to slow down by choice, the universe, God, spirit, whatever you believe in, will actually force you to slow down, whether that be with getting a common cold, or your kid all of a sudden, like, they don't feel well, so they have to stay home from school. Like, it's a subconscious parallel with the universe, and if we don't choose to slow down, we are forced to slow down. And so I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. It took the doctors about 6 months to diagnose me. It's called parvo. A lot of people know it as the thing that dogs get. The thing that dogs get, but well, guess what? Humans get it too. If you had hand, foot, and mouth as a child, it can lay dormant in your system. And then if you're not taking care of yourself, it can actually flare up. It's really rare for adults to get it, but ironically, my mom had it too, and that's the only reason why they tested me for it. So in addition to all the partying habits that I was partaking in, and then now this autoimmune disease that took, you know, months to diagnose, countless tests, I was now another $2,000 in medical bills in debt. And I just, you know, it was kind of like God was like, okay, you need to get your shit together. And I reached out to my best friend, and I joined a CrossFit gym, which then led me into, you know, being a part of an incredible community and truly now surrounding myself with people who wanted to see me do better and not people who only wanted to be around me because I was the party girl, which that came with a really hard choice, right? A lot of my friends saw me bettering myself, and those friends didn't want anything to do with me anymore. And so it led me to this incredible community of, you know, yes, what I'm going through right now is terrifying because my friends and my community that have been with me for so long aren't supporting me, but now I'm being drawn into this next level of people who just want nothing but the best for me. And that's what inspired me to go after getting certified as a group fitness instructor and then ultimately becoming a Beachbody coach. I never wanted women to feel like their past had to define their current situation or that their current situation had any definition on where they were headed for their future. I truly believe that we get the choice to wake up every day and choose again. Every day we get the decision. God granted us another day to breathe, to take deep breaths, to have another heartbeat, and we get to choose what we do with that day. And I always wanted to relay that message to other women so that they knew that they can make the best and most of their life and that all of their dreams are possible for them as well. So that's kind of how I got involved with network marketing. It wasn't because I wanted to do some sort of, you know, everyone has that get rich quick thing in their mind, but it was really just because it was the easiest way for me to start a business and start helping people. So 2 years in, I went full time. I was able to replace my corporate income. And then 3 years in with Beachbody and network marketing, I was able to also replace the income of my 2 part-time jobs.
Love it.
Yes, thank you. So I now have a 3-year-old daughter who, again, my mom is graciously taking care of her on my birthday for me today. But it allowed me to be home with my daughter, to build a business that was financially stable and also granted me the freedom to help other people to build a business my way and to also feel like I was waking up every single day with a purpose. I think that is like, sorry, my neighbor's dogs are barking. I think that's the number one thing, especially if we're going to talk about, you know, having, you know, overcoming our fears, is so many people live their lives every single day in fear. I talk to so many men and women who are afraid to go after their dreams because they're afraid to fail. They're afraid to go after what they really want because of the security that they have at their 9 to 5 that they hate. And I see so many people every single day living in fear. And I'm so grateful that I felt the fear and I did it anyways. I have this motto, and I always say fear can be fun. Feel the fear and make it fun, because just on the other side of that fear is your purpose. And I would hate to live my entire life putting off my dreams, putting off my purpose, putting off God's conviction on my heart because I was afraid. And, you know, right now we're being faced with fear, and it's on a massive global level. And I think, you know, unfortunately or fortunately, however you want to view it, it's forcing people to really reflect on how they're living their everyday lives. Are we going to go back and live our lives the same way that we were before? Or are we going to learn from this and we're going to rise up and we're going to live better? We're going to take the time to spend time with our family more. We're going to take the time to go after our dreams. That we're going to say, you know what, fuck it. I'm not going to live my life miserable because we're never guaranteed tomorrow. So is it going to force some of us to say, you know what, I'm going to go after that online business. I'm going to go after, you know, that physical business that I've been wanting to create for so long. I'm going to go after my dreams because we're never guaranteed that tomorrow we're going to wake up and the world is going to be the same. And I think that we can all agree that, like, none of us anticipated that this was going to go on 2 weeks ago. You know, I think that 2 weeks ago we knew this was going to happen. People would have chosen to wake up and live their lives very differently. And so I'm really glad that God, you know, kind of put that conviction on my lap and put me through what he put me through, so that it's primed me for where we are now. And I'm just, you know, every single day I wake up and I pour into my mindset and I preach mindset to all of my clients and my coaches. And, you know, within the last year and a half, I really started last 2 years, I've really started to embark on a spiritual journey. For those of you that are tuning in, thank you so much. You can follow me at Jesslyn Fitness. I know Asif wanted me to point that out. So at Jesslyn Fitness is my Instagram page, and I'm a full-time Beachbody coach where I focus on fitness and wellness, but I'm also a spiritual and magic mindset mentor where I help other men, women, network marketers, entrepreneurs really live into their full purpose and establish a life of balance and joy and abundance, and create more momentum in their business in a way that brings them happiness and allows them to do it with ease, and not doing it out of a way that feels forced or not good to them or not aligned to them. I add a lot of spiritual practices in with a lot of business techniques. So I have an associate's in business. I have a few degrees, but associate's in business is probably the one that's helped me the most. So I align, you know, my practical background of building a business and things that are going to help you build a brand, market yourself, get exposure, but also walk in alignment with, you know, God's source, your spirituality, whatever it is that you believe that serves you to create that magic in your business and make it more fun along the way. Because I hit a point in my business where, you know, I was in my network marketing business for 4 years, and all of a sudden I hit a roadblock, and all of a sudden I started to have this resentment towards my business. And here I was, a full-time network marketer, single mom. So I'm also a single mom. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? My business isn't moving forward. And I had two choices. I could, you know, put my back up against the wall and stay there and quit, or I could say I'm going to find an easier, better way. And that's what I did. And so now here I am, you know, making like consistently, like almost like pretty much almost 5-figure months every single month for the last few months, which is like mind blowing to me as a single mom. I never, you know, like 6 years ago, it's like I never would have dreamed that this is where God would put me. But there was a lot of fear. There was a lot of failure. There was a lot of failure along the way. Let me tell you that. There was a lot of debt. I was $29,000 in debt, living below paycheck to paycheck, overdrawing my account consistently. Like, if anything is scary, it's like being a single mom and not knowing how you're going to pay your bills, right?
Wow.
So there was a lot of fear, but I never let the fear dictate my life, and I refuse to do that now. So that's kind of background on me.
I love that, Jess. Thank you for sharing all that. If I could press for one more question. This is going to be our first live event ever. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And we're going to chat about it later today as well, May 31st, even if it is to be postponed. What were you going to share about? What's your goal, and what can people expect to take away from this event?
Yes. Okay. So we are super excited. May 31st, we are hosting our first live event, Truth or Dare to Change. Asif, John, and I, and some of the other main contenders in this event actually have a call right after this live video, because we want to make sure that, you know, our utmost, the biggest thing for us is that everyone is safe and cared for. And yes, we want this event to be huge and amazing and successful, but we also want everyone to be safe, and we want to make sure that we are doing our part to make sure that we stop the spread of this, right? We, as of right now, we're still planning for May 31st, but if we have to change it, we change it, and we just want to be proactive about it. But this event is called Truth or Dare to Change, and we really just want to give each and every one of you that come to the event the desire to know, we want you guys to know that when you have a dream, or when you have a conviction, or when you have this vision, that was of God. You were given this conviction for a reason, and that is your truth. When you live your truth, you cannot fail. Yes, you might fall down, but it's fall down 7, get back up 8. Yes, there might be roadblocks along the way. Yes, you might be scared, and yes, there might be a lot of people that you lose along the way, but that is your truth. And God has given you that vision, that purpose, that conviction for a reason. And only you have that vision, and only you can carry it out. A perfect example that I love to use is there are some incredible multimillionaire Hollywood directors, right? Never in my life have I ever had a desire to be a movie director, right? But I've woken up every single day with a purpose to help people on their fitness, their wellness, their
Yes.
nutrition, their mindset, right? And even if it were to take me 20 years to become a millionaire, I would still freaking do it, because to me, the money doesn't matter. The money comes after, right? It's happiness
Yes.
first, and then the success follows. So many people have it backwards. They think it's success first, and then the happiness comes. No, it's living every day filled with joy. It's living every day happy. It's living every day aspiring to create that for the lives of others. That's what I want for other people. I never, ever, ever want people to feel like their life is mundane, or that they're not waking up fulfilling their purpose. That is like a terrible way to live, because I lived that way for so long. So it's like, no, the happiness comes first, and then the success follows. And so, you know, there's so many times where I woke up and I questioned myself, you know, is this meant for me? God, why are you putting me through this? You know, why do I have to keep overdrawing my account? Why do I have to keep, you know, going up the ranks and then dropping rank again? Why do I have to, you know, experience being in two relationships that didn't serve me, and then now being a single mom? You know, we could always ask why, but I always just choose now to ask, you know, what are you teaching me? What is the lesson that I'm here to learn from this? So with this live event, we want you guys to know that those visions that you have, those are meant for you, and they're meant for you for a reason. And what are you going to do with it? So it's like, one, identify your truth, and then dare you to change. Are you going to sit here and not do anything? Like, that's the biggest insult that I could think ever. Something that I always talk to my clients is, there is not a single person on this planet, in this realm, in this universe, that is more qualified than God to tell you what you can do. There is no college professor, there is no accolade, there is no certification, there is no degree that certifies you more than God, period. So if the only thing that's stopping you is that you don't feel like you're qualified, well, guess what? You're qualified because God qualifies you, period. And the biggest insult that you can give to God, who has given you every single life, is to not live out your dreams. Because that's what he gave. He wants you to carry out this gift to the world, period. So it's like, we're going to help you identify your truth, and then we're going to dare you to change. We are going to dare you to go out and live into that truth, period. And we're going to be there on the way. You're going to have, you know, the support of all of us. You guys are going to, like, literally have we're going to have so much support from the people that are obviously coming. We have other vendors that are going to help us. We have other entrepreneurs and business owners that are collaborating with us. You're going to get to the event, and you're going to have like a little swag bag. And then you're also going to have our contact information, right? So we're all small business owners. Like, yes, we have massive success. We're still small business owners.